And we're gonna have to start talking about these problems because I believe them to be pretty severe. Pretty severe. We're now reaching a point where traditionalism in how consoles are being released are going away a little too fast, and now it's starting to reach a point where we can now confirm that the base console and the mid-gen refresh are now releasing simultaneously, and I am not talking about Sony. The Xbox Series X has been announced, and there was some initial excitement from the usual peanut gallery, but then upon further developments in the past almost 2 days now, the sentiment is starting to change drastically. To start off, we need to go through the specs of this machine. Alright, almost all the rumors were true, but in some cases now, it's actually worse than we thought. It was originally hyped up that the CPU was going to be the exact same as the Xbox One X, as the Xbox Series X. This is not the case. It is actually slightly slower. We're talking about 3.4 gigahertz multi-threaded and 3.6 gigahertz single-threaded. Some people actually try to make this seem like, including IGN of all people, I'd expect better on IGN, to make the claim of the CPU being faster than the PS5s. They have absolutely
better from IGN.
It's just deplorable. It's deplorable because they did this in a way to actually discourage people from actually doing their own research and analyzing what's being shown and what's being done really means. And it's really deplorable to see that. The GPU though, it is the rumored 4 teraflops, but the setup, right, is not as good as we thought. We're looking at 20 compute units at 1.565 gigahertz to reach a total of over 3.9 teraflops. Theoretical peak. Now, a lot of people saying, oh, because it's RDNA 2 architecture, this is going to completely outperform the likes of the Xbox One X. Not exactly. Because, yes, the clock speed's better, but there's still half the number of compute units compared to the Xbox One X. 20 versus 40. And it's still 1/3 the total power in GPU compared to the Xbox Series X. And yet, despite all that, they're trying to hype up that this is going to be a 1440p machine using all the same assets and graphical effects such as ray tracing with no hints, just a lower resolution. Let me be the first streamer to put my foot down and say, bullshit! The reason why is this. Microsoft did their little hot chips teardown and explained how ray tracing works on the RDNA 2 architecture. Each compute unit, right, has 4 BBH intersection ray tracing engines, right? The problem with that is that they're also the texture map units. This is a big flaw here. If you use the intersection engines for ray tracing, accelerated ray tracing, that means you're sacrificing space to use your texture mapping. So you have to sacrifice one in order for the other to have. And with such a lower speed than your average RDNA 1 card, like your 5700 whatever, or your 5600 whatever, you're not going to get, you wouldn't even get ray tracing at 720p. So, for Microsoft to say that you can get all these same details, right, but just at a low resolution, it is a absolute fabricated lie. And on top of that, it gets absolutely worse from there, because there's another factor in trying to get ray tracing to work. That's the RAM. You see, the current next-gen consoles are RAM-starved already, but now on the Series S is even worse.
Hello.
Hello. Hold on, Anji. I'm doing this video. You can butt in when the time comes.
Alrighty.
Because this is a huge deal. The RAM bandwidth on the Xbox Series X, we're looking at 16 gigs, right? And 10 gigs being 560 gigabytes per second, and 6 gigabytes being about 336 gigabytes per second, right? That split RAM is problematic already. Alright? But I've already talked about that before. Now let's compare that to the Xbox Series S. 10 total gigabytes of RAM. 10 total gigabytes of RAM. 8 gigs of it. 8 gigs of it, apparently. Will be 224 gigabytes per second. That bandwidth speed is slower than the Xbox One X. The remaining RAM will be a paltry 56 gigabytes per second. That's gonna be slower than the base Xbox One, which was 68 gigabytes per second. Yeah, we're so gonna have full-on ray tracing comparable to what could have been done on the Xbox Series X at a low resolution, right? Right? Get out of here.
Right.
And then, to top this wonderful thing off, we got the SSD. I love this one. This one got me laughing after doing 8 takes to see at 5.1s and seeing things. You're going to launch an all-digital console, right? Mm-hmm. Even though it's for cheaper, right? But then half of the SSD space for gaming? Half? Compared to the X?
Yeah, 5 out of 12. The SSD.
That combined with the rumor that will not die, by the way, that upcoming Seagate NVMe SSD memory cards, the expansion ones, are to be priced at $220 US?
Who's gonna pay that?
Which means if you want any significant storage space, you might as well just go out and buy an Xbox Series X. That's what you're going to end up spending.
What is even the...
No. That's how much you're gonna be spending.
This console
Microsoft
is
out of their minds.
110% pointless and a huge mistake on Microsoft's part. Because the middle console, the PS5, its exclusive games are going to blow away everything in the console space.
For as long as they're exclusive. Continue.
Now, on top of that, a lot of people I argued with on forums kept telling me that because of the increased instructions per clock, right, on RDNA 2, it's still going to be just as powerful GPU-wise as the Xbox One X. Well, a news article just came up confirming that if you try to play any game that has Xbox One X enhancements on the Series S, you will not be able to play the game in 1X mode. It will revert permanently to 1S mode.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
So...
And
is
it
that
makes
because
perfect
it's 4K?
sense considering the specs I just talked about.
Is that because it can't run 4K?
It doesn't have the beefy enough hardware. Especially in the RAM.
Well, damn.
Especially in the RAM.
They just like fucking themselves
And,
over.
and unlike PlayStation, it doesn't have the SSD to help with it.
No, it doesn't.
Because isn't the SSD gonna not cut the amount of RAM, but use it a lot more efficiently, so it can, you don't have to use nearly as much for certain tasks.
Like the
that you
Outer
wouldn't.
Worlds at 12 seconds.
Oh no! We're talking about the
I'm
PS5 comparison.
I'm talking about they can render what they need to up to the next second on the PS5, as opposed to like 30 seconds that's like on the PS4.
Exactly. That's exactly what was shown by Mark Cerny in his Road to PS5 video. And back to the Xbox Series SSD performance. Microsoft tried to be a little bit sneaky.
Well, when aren't they sneaky? Trying to do.
They showed a comparison, right? Outer Worlds, other games, right? They always try to show 12-second loading, right?
Oh, you're talking about this, yeah.
Yeah, you know about this.
It's aggressive.
No, that's not even the word.
It gets funnier.
It gets funnier than that, Ozzy. You missed out on this portion, right? Because the left side was rigged to speed up the timer to make the disparity seem bigger than it was. Someone actually analyzed the supposed 53-second loading time on the Outer Worlds, right? And what was supposed to be 53 seconds turned out to be closer to 39.
What?
Microsoft cheated again! Absolutely disgusting, if I do say so myself. If Sony were to do anything like this, they would have been crucified.
You would never hear the end of it.
And we know about that because the 7th Gen happened, the PS3 happened, the Vita happened. And yet when it comes to shit like the Xbox Series S, it's gotta be up to people like me to bring this shit to light. And how many other people watching this video are going to spread this info around? Do they even have the courage to?
But it's a great value. Great value.
And now, On top of this, new rumors just came up. Project Edinburgh.
Yes, the Xbox Series
V?
Wait, what?
Yeah, another Xbox model just got leaked, Neville! The Xbox Series V!
Okay, that has to be fake.
I hope to God it is! I hope to God it
Or
is!
it's probably a xCloud
That'd be-
streaming only console if it is real. No way Microsoft is going to release 3 sets
Like, that's gonna be any better.
It looks like the Series X,
That just
but
kills
with no
off
disk
their
drive.
hardware superiority argument even more.
I mean, they already stopped the teraflop marketing, haven't they?
Yeah, they did. They did. Isn't that a little convenience? That timing, ever so perfect, isn't it?
Tiny.
Makes me sick to my stomach. I'm telling you right now. If the rumors of the 220 memory cards become true, I want to see every single PlayStation Vita hater come out and defend this. I got my popcorn ready. I got my
caramel cob already.
Butter toffee, crunch and munch.
I got my caramel popcorn ready. I've been eating these things called caramel cobs, soft popcorn, caramel. They're so good, and they're only 50 cents.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now that my rant is over, I'd like to hear your opinions. Just do whatever your comments and do whatever comments you want to say after this video. And if you feel like, if you ever have the willing, please share this video. Share this video. I think it's important that more people know about this, because this is very ridiculous. And what Microsoft is doing is pretty much helping to head the next generation into the wrong direction. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to my complaints. Yours one out.